Nigeria, the NSE All Share Index is currently down in midday trade. Usoro, Essien, head of research at Greenwich Trust, joins me on the line to review the Nigerian market. Thank you so much, Usoro. We're starting the week slightly lower at this point. Although it's still early days, we know that the market could bounce back before the end of the trading session. We saw it gain over the last two sessions. Do you get the sense that we are likely to see this upside momentum continue this week?
Yeah, I think we should see most of that momentum coming this week, at least for 3 to 4 days before a bit of profit taking. We've seen a rally on some select stocks that were a bit oversold. Yeah.
All right. So, but where do you think investors should be allocating to in this market right now? A lot of people talking about the banking sector and the valuation in that space. Do you agree that that's where money should be going now?
Well, for the second-tier segment of that sector, I still think there are bargains. However, for the top tier, the tier 1 banks, I think that one has to look very closely to see the stocks that are slightly overvalued. There.
All right. Your take on the insurance space. I was discussing this earlier with an analyst this morning, and there's a sense that there could be some opportunities there. Do you share that sentiment?
We're not bullish for the insurance sector now. We still think some key reforms have to come to play before the value can really be untapped from that sector. Yeah.
All right. So if we're looking outside the banking space, where do you see value in this market right now?
Select counters from the cement, Ashaka. Ashaka has been looking good. We recommended Ashaka last week. We still think the rally should continue because the results was released by Ashaka, the Q1, that was released recently, showed some positive upsides that were unexpected.
All right, so if we look at the macro story, a lot of positive news. When you look at inflation, it's been below 10% since January last year, and now we're seeing the Naira strengthen to under $160 per barrel at the close of Friday. Your take on the macro story now and what that could mean for flows into the equity market going forward?
Well, the macro story, as we had said earlier, it has been strong. The rebasing of the GDP figure has even made it more has increased the case for investment into our markets. What you haven't seen, though, is how would I put it? Long-term investment where that will come only with stability, and some of the security issues and all that shows that the investors are only looking at the short term. So they're looking to take profits in the short term, and also because the elections are coming too.
All right. And how big a risk would you place on those elections and the build-up to the elections? We know that they're usually kind of shaky in Nigeria. We've looked at the trend over the last 4 years. Your take, especially now that we're seeing so many reports of attacks in the build-up to these elections?
Well, normally I would have said what we're seeing is like the everyday cycle that you see with the elections, every 4 years. However, what's a bit more different with this cycle of violence we've been having is the media has really taken up an opinion, and it's really being broadcasted globally. So these elections will be different because the level of awareness has actually increased, and there will be a bigger scrutiny eye on what goes on before the elections. I think the expectations may actually be more than what actually happens. The expectations of increased violence and insecurity may actually be more than what comes to play. But all things being equal, we expect the markets to resume normal activities by Q2 next year. Yeah.
All right, Soren, let's leave it there. Thank you so much for joining.